We're back. We're back. It's been a while.
It's been a while, man.
It's been a while.
Why has it been a while, bro?
I'm not even gonna make excuses.
Tommy's just messing around. He's having a good old time. He doesn't want to hang out with us anymore.
Yeah, summer, man. Summer has schedules have shifted. It's probably been like 5 weeks,
5 weeks.
maybe 6. We gotta go back and look, but it's been a while. And once off season and summer hit, schedules changed, and we haven't been able to connect. So, but we're back. We're back. The hook is back.
The hook.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped up. It's been a fun summer so far, man.
It has been, yeah, man. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just what we do. There's just a lot of.
We always have fun.
That's right.
We always have fun. But yo, speaking of summer, man, how are things going at Hollydale so far this summer?
Same, man.
It's crazy. We're in July.
Yeah.
Which is
July,
nuts.
yeah.
It's nuts.
No, man. It's been wild, crazy mornings, and just listen, man. The back and forth. I mean, it's
Yeah. Nah, it's cool, man. Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of the videos, and I ain't gonna lie, I kind of miss it because it's my first summer not there since I've been at TA.
Yeah, true.
I'm only there Tuesday evenings.
I forget who it was. Yo, where's Tommy at?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, I'm only at the Dell Tuesday evenings, man. I miss it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Miss you guys. But yeah, I've been partying at Voorhees, man, right here in this boxing room. And,
that's right.
Dan's holding the fort down while while Robo is
Broken.
and recovering. We should be back shortly.
Pretty shortly to come back.
Yeah. But it's been
About 10 days,
a
hopefully.
fun summer, action packed, a lot of getting after it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, bro. I'm pumped with the boxing program and the time that I've been spending at Voorhees. I got 2 sets of brothers, 2 of which have been training with us for a while. Mike and Will, 8 and 10, I believe, or 9 and 10. And then Reese and Ryder, another set of brothers that are just, it's something about, like your brother, and I got a brother. Something about brothers when they train together, right? Like, it's fun training with your bro. And these kids, they just, they feed off each other.
And you get the potential to hit your brother and
Yeah.
not get in trouble?
Yeah,
You kidding me?
yeah.
You kidding me?
No, I definitely enjoy working with them because, all of them are hockey players, so they're already fiery, right? They already got some grit to them. So adding boxing to the mix, oh man, it's been fun. It's been fun because they're just like gonna be little dogs.
Yeah.
little dogs off the leash, man. I love it, man. I love it.
That's sick.
Yeah, man.
No, the training part from because I think back to my brother and I training, and
Right.
difference is like 6.5 years older, so like, it took a while to be able to even, testosterone levels and, and all that fun things to come together to be able to compete. But that's where my other brother, we got to have fun with that at that time.
We did. Yeah, man, it was that was fun. We'll come back to that. But you just said something. Testosterone levels. That's why, like, there's levels in youth sports across all youth sports, right? But I'm just going to share. One of our guys was paired up on Matchmaker to box a kid who has experience, not much experience, and the kid, he's got 4 fights, but the kid is 15. Our guy is 2 years younger. 1, by rule, it's not allowed. But 15 and 13 are, dude, the level, like where the 15-year-old is at in life compared to where the 13-year-old is at, especially a young 13-year-old, man, it's just it's almost like it's like night and day, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily like skill. Yeah, it plays a part in it, but more so the testosterone level, and it's kind of like it's unmatched because the 15-year-old is he's hitting that part of his youth where he's coming into young manhood, where the 13-year-old is still he's still a kid,
Yeah.
and that's why there's levels in youth sports. But we had to decline that match. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, as a coach, you gotta as a boxing coach, you definitely gotta pay attention to those matchmakers, man, because they're not your friend. They're not
Yeah.
your friend, man. They're not your
No,
friend.
but it's also the whole part of like, oftentimes parents want, certain types of training, and it's you got to realize kids aren't just smaller adults. There's a development process that just isn't there yet, and you get to a certain age, and it is there, and then yeah, man, age becomes just a number. Well, and then you have the other side of it as you get older. But again, when you've developed fully, yeah, man, do whatever you want. But until then, you gotta follow those,
No,
the
100%.
understanding of like what needs to happen here.
Touch a little bit on development, right? Like, I want to hear your opinion, but it's like when you're a young athlete, you're playing like let's say Pee Wee. You always, and you as a coach, you always have like those group of kids that are like bigger than everybody, faster than everybody, stronger than everybody, and they're studs as young boxers, athletes, whatever. But then once the playing field starts to even out and those other guys start to catch up, it's not always. Now you do have some guys that are just stellar all through their youth careers,
Yeah.
but the playing field it's really not that even when they're younger. But as they start to develop and they come into their youth, and that's when you really get to see who's really got it.
Yeah.
You know.
No, man, that it's tough for the kids that are in that like 8 to 13 range, because it's more closer to that 10 to 13. But that 8 to 13 range, there's kids. Listen, there's some kids that are already. It was funny actually. This conversation with two of the guys today was, yo, man, since I've known you, I was 6 foot and you were just a little tyke. Now we're about the same size. Like that was specifically like what was said, and it was interesting to hear because it's like I remember that time, and yeah, there was a huge difference, right, in size between these two athletes, and now they're about the same size. So what happens often in sport, right? You become actually Andy Reid, if you remember that picture or that video of him playing, youth football.
When he was huge.
He was just
Yeah,
massive, right?
That's a classic video, Andy. Yeah.
And then you got everybody else that like, yeah, what are you gonna do when? How are you taking them down? You throw it up there. So, but that's the whole thing is that the work ethic, the discipline, right? The commitment to your development. That's what really matters. And I think a lot of times parents worry about, the story of Michael Jordan. How he didn't make it. In high school he didn't make the team, and yeah, they were waiting for him to develop. Like if you know the story within it, they were waiting for him to grow and develop and all that, and that's why it didn't happen. But either way, it just takes time. Like no matter how great you are, your greatness sometimes it's not in that second, right? And with kids, same idea, man. It's like, look, give them the time to develop. Don't force them into something. Don't push them into anything. Don't try to rush the development because that's the phase where it's like, if they can work through that, they're so much stronger, not only because you didn't rush the development, but mentally they realized it takes patience, right? Like great things don't happen overnight.
100%.
It takes time to get to that place. And that's one of the, I think that's one of the really tough parts that when you watch youth sports in that age range, like there's certain kids that just, when everyone does catch up to them, because they stopped working, and those other kids kept working, their mentality is just so much higher than theirs that now they're the same size and they're behind because mentally.
Man, that's a huge part of why training is important for developing youth athletes, man. Like from a mindset and you know, like from a movement standpoint, getting used to your body as you grow and develop, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge part of an athlete taking it to the next level. You want to touch on that a little bit, like what training does for I don't want to say undersized, but a smaller athlete who maybe hits a growth spurt at that age, 10 to 13, that's getting used to their body. You know, their feet are getting bigger, their legs are getting longer, and their movement's not the same as when they were smaller. But what does training do to help them continue to develop in the right direction?
Yeah, the one that I talk to, especially the kids in that age group, right? The big thing for me, and I think you talk about this as well, right? But it's that you have a dashboard, and it starts to become more clear, and you start adding more things to the dashboard, where you understand like the speed. Like when you're running, you know that you're at, you start understanding like I'm running at my top speed right now compared to I'm running at like jogging speed. Like I have more in me. There's a lot more left in the tank. Or when you're hurt, it's understanding how much can I push right now. And to come back to size, you're growing when you actually work the movements, right? So we work side to side, forward, back, rotational. We do all those different pieces. When you actually work that stuff, you can actually you can adjust, understand what movement you're doing and why it's off as you're getting taller, as you're getting longer, right? As your center of mass is changing. You have a better idea of, oh, wait, my big toe's not engaged like it should be. I'm overshifting, right? You have a better idea of, oh, my arms aren't moving at the same pace because I feel like I'm doing the same thing I was doing before, but my arm is now an inch longer, right? 2 inches longer, whatever. So when you start understanding your dashboard and understanding like what's happening, right? Like my fuel gauge and my oil light and all that different stuff, right? But obviously you're not worried about those different pieces for yourself, but you understand how fast you're going. You know how much you have left in the tank. You know, like all those little pieces, that's when you can really take it to the next level. And that's what training does. It brings you to understanding like what's going on with your body. Not just your body, but mentally, right? It's when you're tired, how much gas do you actually have left, right? Because it's one of those things I love when I see, you'll see kids like dying, like they're so tired. But then all of a sudden the puck's out and it's, if they don't go to the bench, they just go right out to that puck. All of a sudden you see a burst of speed that they didn't know they had, right? Or a lion comes out, starts trying to chase you. All of a sudden you're gonna see some speed.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's the whole thing. It's like there's that deeper gear that we don't necessarily know about, or we're saving just in case, because we're always thinking about evolution, right? We're always in that case of like fight or flight and making sure to survive. It's like, what are we gonna do? And there's always more in there. It's just, how do you get that out?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal way to put it. He's talking about gears and check engine lights. I bet you didn't know he was a master mechanic. But no, man, that's a hell of a way to put it because, especially when you talk about the developing athlete, right? Like you're gonna through training, you'll be able to understand your body and how to adjust. When the check engine light comes on.
That's right.
Well, no, that's cool, man. That's a great way of putting it, man. Hell of a breakdown there, Keith.
Happens sometimes.
But on the boxing side of it, and you lived this, we both did, but you lived it. I think what I enjoy most about training young kids in boxing is seeing the way they think and see themselves through the training, right? And how they, people always say, confidence, right? Boxing definitely boosts your confidence.
You can break your confidence too, though.
Yeah, 100%. Well,
How
we're
many
going
times
to
have
see
we
if you
seen-
got some heart. We're going to see if you got some heart. We're going to see if you got some. But the guys that do have heart and can take it and can, get through getting their asses handed to them, how they process things and analyze things as it comes at them, whether it be in a fight, in training, or in life. I love to see that in the kids, man. You know what I mean? And it translates. It translates.
Let me ask you, do you think that, because we've seen this a good amount, right? Like, where people come in, they look really good on the bag, right? Whether it's a kid or just in general, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they get in the ring, and, the nice little saying, everyone's got to play until they get punched in the face, right?
Mike Tyson.
That's right. So, but the question is, why is it, right, that for some people, can that be taught?
That's a good question. I'm going to say yes, because there was a point in my life when I was young, before I actually started training, although I had been in the boxing gym very early in life, before I started training, the whole reason I went to the boxing gym was because I got whipped on the schoolyard. And I wasn't afraid of that fight. I wasn't afraid to fight, but I didn't believe in myself, right? And again, there's a couple points in my life where there was a couple guys that when I was in fifth, sixth grade that I would stay clear of because I didn't have the confidence in myself to, stand up to those guys. And my dad, from taking me to the gym and working closely with me, and the conversations the stuff he instilled in me, it came a point where I wasn't afraid of nothing. Right. It was like, and that was through. Had it not been for what he did with me, with us, that's definitely a learned trait. Something you. I mean, some kids have it. Some kids just have it, right? But some kids aren't born with it. You know what I mean? There's a couple things I believe you can't be taught, but I think the way my dad brought us up, through the training, through the conversations, through the talks that he had with us, and through the action that he put us through, like what he put us through, it was something that was there. It was just, he planted the seed and he grew it, and it's there. You know what I mean? But yeah, what do you think about that?
I think there's different levels of it, right? Like, Tommy never saw Rocky.
First off,
you never saw Rocky.
Somebody just said happy birthday, Rocky. It was Santino. I saw your story, bro. He's a fictional character, bro. He's a fictional character.
Never saw Rocky, but I digress. When you get hit, and you're gonna get in there, and dude, it's gonna hurt. There's not many people, right? That and the reason I brought up Rocky is just it's literally just the scene. You and I talked about this in one thing, but it's like that scene where Rocky gets knocked out. It's like I forget. It's like towards the end of the rounds, like the last few rounds, and Apollo, the champ, right, is fighting. For those that don't know, only one person. Everyone else understands.
I'm so glad they're putting Fraser's statue up, bro. I'm so glad.
Sure. No, facts. Right. No, I don't disagree with that. But Apollo knocked him down, it was like 2 or 3 times before, and finally they're dead. Like they're mangled back and forth, and he puts him down. And he is like this, looking at the crowd, turns around and sees him getting up, and he's just like, and you just saw, that's that look that I love seeing in the opponent. There's that little breath, and you got him, right? When you're whether you're running against them, whether you're working out, whatever the deal is, that you won it just because you heard that little noise. They gave you that first little piece that said, aha, they hurt. And the reason why I'm saying this is there's certain people, because I do agree with you. There is a level of uncomfort that people can get to, but I think like anything else, it's a skill specifically where there's hockey players that are just, dude, they didn't have to train. They just need to be on the ice. They don't train. They don't do this. They're just that good, right? Basketball, football, soccer. Let me just go down the line, right? Boxing. But then there's other people that work, do practice, train, do everything, right? And they'll never get to that level, ever.
No,
right?
100%.
And I truly believe that you can teach every skill, right? But they're only going to get to this certain level, right? And that's why, like, for me, I just like, there's just certain places, like the people that make Navy SEALs, like David Goggins type stories, where like you just go to a place that people don't understand that like level of mentality.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
No, 100%.
Like I remember this one run that I went on, like just because we were talking about David Goggins, nowhere near his kind of situation, but like I'm in my hoodie, and it was like I was doing like 3.5, 4 miles in my hoodie, like 100 degrees weather, and like I'm getting to the end of my run, and I'm doing sprints in between each one, so there was a whole combination of things. And I remember this run, and I get to 2.5 miles, and I'm hurting, and I'm actually feeling a little dizzy, right? Coming back to the dashboard, again, I don't tell anyone to do this, but I know myself, and I know that when I start feeling certain things, here's how much time I have left, right? Before bad things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
So in my tank, it's kind of like when you're driving on E and you're like, all right, I think I got 10 more miles. Gas station's 5 miles away. I'll make it.
Yeah. Another good analogy here.
But again, come back to it. It's being able to play that game and understanding yourself to kind of get to that spot. So I think when it comes to fighting, when it comes to competition, that grit, there is certain people that just have that like fuck you mentality.
So I said there's a couple things I don't think can be taught. Heart. You can't teach somebody to have heart. You can build somebody up to not be afraid, to not be scared. But if they don't have heart, they just don't have it. You can't teach someone to have heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can teach somebody punching power. You can either crack or you can't. That's how I look at it. So I can teach you all the techniques and fundamentals and show you how to punch, but I can't give you the power of the punch.
But that comes back to that skill, right?
Yeah.
Is understand that there's a certain piece to it that you just.
Yeah.
But that's the interesting piece. In every sport, there's specific spots that you just. But that's why you have fighters that are just.
Yeah, bro. There's in the history of boxing, there's been fighters, and I'm sure there's players like this across all different sports, but there's been fighters that were like phenomenal fighters, but the minute you tap them on the jaw, they get on their bicycle, they're out of there. So, but if you can't catch them, they're gonna whip you.
Yeah.
But the minute you catch them, it's a whole different ballgame.
So Mayweather, he wasn't known for power, right?
No, but he was sharp and crisp.
But he wasn't. But his whole thing, right? It wasn't a power game.
So his first part of his career, he was a fighter, right? Like a boxer more than a brawler, but he was very technically sound. But early in his career, he was putting guys out. But as he started getting older, had issues with his hands and going up in weight, he wasn't the knockout artist he once was. So he beat you with just being in better shape than you.
But if you would say, if you put him in a category with like Mike Tyson, right?
No, there's no way. He doesn't even have
No, I don't mean fighting each other.
I mean like power.
Yeah, right? Like Mike Tyson, that was like, dude, there was power there. Like, you watch those things, it's insane, right? The kind of Mayweather, he did it a different way.
Yeah.
And then and I think that's the whole thing. It's like there's so many different skills, right? And it's like, what is your way about it? And that's why, like, I think with anything, it's everyone could be great in their own skin. They just have to find the right path for that.
No, 100%. Many ways to do it. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no. Back to
because Roy Jones, dude,
Yeah,
Roy
Roy
had
was. Yeah, Roy was
He
another
embarrassed
one.
dudes literally just
Yeah.
by doing this.
Roy had it all, man. Roy had it all. There's a guy. I don't even remember his name, but for some reason this joker keeps popping up on my feed, and he's a trainer, Midwest. He doesn't have a huge following, but he puts out these reels bashing fighters, and that's one thing I won't do. I won't bash anybody that steps in there because you got to be half crazy to step in there.
Yeah.
Regardless if you step in there one time and decide this ain't for me,
Yeah.
or you've been in there many times and you keep going back. To even step in there and stand in front of another man, you got some screws loose. I mean, let's be real. Like, you got some screws loose. Yeah. But then, anyway, this trainer in particular, he has like a boxing studio, whatever. He bashes continuously fighters. He said Roy Jones was dog shit. He said Sugar Shane Mosley was a bum. And like when he puts these videos, I think it's clickbait, but the more it comes to my feed, I know he really means what he's saying. But like in the comments, people are like, bro, what are you talking about? What have you done? You know what I mean? To talk about world champions, world-class athletes, and say that they're dog shit and bums. Excuse my language. So I looked him up because I was getting tired of this, bro. Now I looked him up. The dude had 12 amateur fights and was a competitor in Golden Gloves and like 12 amateur fights, 1 pro fight, and you gonna call Roy Jones dog? Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's why, like, and since we've reconnected, you got me in a much better place where I don't argue with people online anymore. I used to argue with jokers in the comments, but like Roger Mayweather said, most people don't know shit about boxing. But I used to go back and forth. But Key, he's got me in a place where it's like, even when somebody says something really egregious and out of this world, like one guy said, "Oh, you need to be at a 90-degree angle when you throw it." Like, what you want me to get out like a tool here to measure? Like,
Yeah,
what,
right.
you know what I mean? But thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the feedback. It's hard to do. It's hard to do because I want to blast you, some of you people sometimes. But yeah, Key's got me. He's got me in line. Thanks for your feedback. Nah, man. But yeah, all good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I listen, man. I think when it comes to development, there's just so many pieces. There's so much that goes together, but I think what it really comes back to, and this is where I'm gonna bring. We've been talking about boxing. I'm gonna bring it to a whole different place. Pageants. Listen, man. Everything, every competition, right? No matter what it is, chess match, like there is a factor of, do you truly know what you're good at? And have you developed your game that way compared to you follow other people and do what other people do?
No.
Which, don't get me wrong, right? Like, if that works for some people and that they're successful in their own right and that kind of thing, but how great you can truly be if you truly listen to yourself and understand who you are and what you need to develop. Instead of always trying to work on your weak links, right? Just double up on like your strong. Like,
Yeah, where you're strong at. Yeah.
Because the thing is, again, like, well, the weakest link can break you 100%. But if you can't get to my weakest link because punching power, right? You gotta get through this, and you're not going to. Well, don't worry about your weakest link. Yeah. But again, it's how good are you at that specific piece, And I think that's one of the parts that so many people miss out on. It's like, dude, you could be so great. Why are you wasting your time doing this when that's just not even, that's not part of your game? Oh, well, coach says I need to be better at this. Cool, man. That's great. But you create offensive chances. Why are you worried? Again, yes, you need to be defensive and this and that, but you're not a defensive player. I'm sorry. When you're on the ice, it's a 5-on-4. When you're in the when you're in the defensive zone, that's just the way it is. But you're probably gonna go score. So like that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, man. 100%, bro.
So,
damn. Key with all the good breakdowns today.
Right back at you,
We're
man.
back, man. We're back.
We're back.
back. The hook is back. We're gonna have some guests coming on, and we got some fun stuff coming up. Tune in next week to find out what this week has in store.
We do have a little surprise.
Yeah,
A little surprise.
just a
we're
little
going to talk about.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Yeah, back at it.